Former Gambia Action Party's presidential candidate forms a new political party ahead of the December polls. South Africa's government initiated new plans to revive the economy after its downturn due to the global health crisis. And digital money transactions gains momentum in Nigeria thanks to the COVID-19 global pandemic. Well, these and more coming your way in News Desk. Hello, this is iAfrica TV. Many thanks for joining us. I am Amadou Kante, and now the news in detail. Now, the former flag bearer of the Gambia Action Party has on Monday registered a new political party after gaining strength from a scandal that threatened his political career. The move comes 10 months after a nude video portraying his image went viral on social media. Bojan's party becomes the 18th political party registered in the Gambia. Binta Jallo has the rest of that in the story.
After months of struggling to clear his image on social media, Mr. Lamin Bojan bounces back with a new political party called Alliance for National Reorientation and Development. The party is formally registered with the Independent Electoral Commission on Monday, 3rd May 2021. The party's color is orange and its symbol is a bundle of harvested rice with a motto of justice, freedom and development. Speaking to journalists after the official registration, Mr. Bojan said life is all about taking risk and the past can't end his career.
If you do not take risk in life, it means you do not exist. Yes, pundits would have said that my political career would have come to a stop. But I guess, like it is said in our local languages, in the military it is often said that withdrawal is another phase of life, a phase of war. That was just hibernation. We went into hibernation just to make sure that we prepare ourselves better. We thought there were better times, there were better ways to do stuff, and we have learned our lesson. Some will say that we've learned our lesson in a bitter way. Yes, we've learned our lessons in a bitter way. But this time around, I think we are better educated with the experience to be able to, huddle through now better.
Bojan advised Gambians to be aware of the leaders they will choose in the future.
The Gambian people they must watch and be very, very careful who comes to them to talk to them about politics in this country. I think we are tired of the politics of deception. I think we are tired of politics of lying. I think we are tired of that type of politics of, expressing tribal sentiments. What we want Gambian people to understand is that let them take note of ANRD. Let them take note of ANRD. We are out to solve their problems. We are out to solve their problems. And we are telling Gambians that anybody who comes to you, watch the person. Let them not be those type of politicians who are out there to enrich themselves.
General Bojan said the current president knows nothing of what he is doing as he lacks the experience.
Like what we have today, the current president in this country is clueless because he has never had any experience in this country. He has no work experience. He has no job experience. Sometimes smart people will learn on the job. But for him, he has no job experience. He is not learning on the job, and that is why Gambia is sinking every day.
Gambians are expected to go back to the polls in December 2021. Bojan's party becomes the 19th political party registered in the Gambia ahead of the much anticipated presidential election. In 2016, only 9 political parties were registered before the coalition was formed, excluding other independent candidates. For iAfrica News, Binta Jallo.
Binta Jallo reporting there as retired General Bojan formed his own political party ahead of the December 4 presidential elections in the Gambia. Now, South African authorities are initiating new measures to resuscitate the country's economy after it was adversely battered by the COVID-19 pandemic. The government wants to focus on green economy, such as waste recycling and renewable energy generation, among others, to reverse the economic downturn. Despite the new plans, some analysts are of the view that the government needs to do more to overcome its economic challenges. And here's more details of that in this report.
The country's environment minister says the plan promotes waste recycling, renewable energy generation, revitalizing the ecotourism and forestry sectors, and retrofitting government buildings to improve climate resilience and save on water and energy consumption.
We are running out of resources, are not finite, so we need to make the best use of it as far as possible. And on the other end, disposal sites are few and far between, and it's becoming more and more costly and onerous to actually operate them, run with them, and send materials to disposal sites. And we're losing a lot of value and good sense out of products that's being manufactured.
Government efforts are focused on decreasing plastic waste and increasing the recycling of plastics.
Recycling itself has not quite worked as what it was expected to do. And hence, recycling is not out of the circular economy, but it's actually on the outermost loop of it. So we need to get the best sort of use of products that are manufactured, whether it's locally, internationally, or wherever.
There's been lots of discussion amongst analysts about the circular economy and its possible impact on South Africa's economic growth. But it needs a catalyst.
And one of the key things that's coming to the fore now is actually the extended producer responsibility legislation that's coming to the fore as recent as the 5th of May of 2021. And that will actually become mandatory on any sort of packaging producer or anyone that imports it, to actually ensure that they actually take care of any sort of products that is brought in, and that there would be a levy that needs to be paid onto it to ensure that there's better collection of the material and better use of it once it has seen its sort of end of life as such.
Moving to the circular economy is not going to be a straightforward exercise. It's an ongoing project.
It's still very much a document under discussion. There would obviously be areas of, let's say some industries would be a lot harder hit in terms of being able to need to change to it because of vested interest that may be there. But if one takes the holistic picture in terms of what needs to be done, then yes, it's a much needed initiative that needs to be followed through.
Saving the planet is everybody's responsibility, and everybody has to get involved.
The South African government there initiating new measures to revive the country economy after it was adversely affected due to the COVID-19 global pandemic. Now, rentals in the Gambia have been a major challenge for both civil servants and ordinary citizens as rentals fee continue to surge, especially in the Greater Banjul areas. As our reporter, Desise, went out and about, most of the tenants say they are facing a lot of challenges because of the expensive nature of rentals. Many of them find it difficult to offer the amount charged by the landlords. And here is more of that in this report.
Living in a standard and well-furnished apartment is a dream that anyone would like to fulfill after working for so many years. However, in the Gambia, the majority of the citizens who are depending on their monthly salaries are without a compound of their own, as half of their salaries are being spent on rents. Jibril Njilan is one of them who spends over $6,000 on rent. Jibril said this is a very big challenge to him and all the citizens in the Gambia, because most of them earn less than $4,000 per month. Jibril added that the reason why many people are unable to acquire and build their own compound after so many years is because of the high amount they spend on rents. He urged landlords to reduce the charges they levy on tenants.
Dafa overmate torop, you know. So they am ñoo xamne tam dinañ mëna dugga ci dëkk bi example comme yeen noné na def ni, you know.
We are all facing the difficulty of rent because landlords now are taking things for granted. Some of them who built their compound within 3 years are charging people to pay 2 rooms and parlor for $5,000 each, which is not fair. And also, this agent stuff is also another reason why rents are expensive. And here in the Gambia, we all know that to earn $5,000 per month is very difficult because you have a family, you need to give lunch to children when going to school, and also you need to provide feeding for the family. This is very difficult on us.
Maudi Jallo said they don't only stop at paying rents every month, but also whatever problem tenants face in the compound, they manage to repair it themselves.
Number one, mooy ndox. Secondly, main problem mooy
I'm urging landlords to reduce the cost of rent. They should know that we are living under the mercy of Allah. There will come a time when we will all die and leave all these materials behind. We should consider all this in life. Yes, it is true that you own your property and you know how to use it. But you should believe that one day or the other, you have to leave this world. And the moment you leave, you have nothing here. This is the only thing I can say, because it is their property, so it is left to them to fear Allah.
As the majority pointed out landlords for being responsible over the expensive nature of rents in the Gambia, some landlords beg to differ. John Considibe, a landlord, said the situation is quite different in her side, as she charged her tenants to pay $3,000 for 2 or 3 rooms and a parlor.
I charged my tenants over 2 rooms and a parlor, and has everything inside including bathroom, store, tap and kitchen for $3,000. This is how I have been charging my tenants for so many years now. And whatever problem my tenants face in their houses, I use my own money to repair it. They only inform me and then I take all the responsibility.
Access to standard and affordable houses in the Gambia has been a concern for many, as rental fees continue to surge, especially in the Greater Banjul areas. Half of the civil servants who have been working in government for over 10 years still cannot afford a compound of their own. And this to many is as a result of high prices of rentals charged by many, which some cannot afford, as most of the civil servants in the Gambia earn estimately less than $10,000 for their monthly salaries. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Desise.
Rental fees or charges continue to be a big challenge in the Gambia, as highlighted in that report. Now, Nigeria, like many other African countries, have seen a significant increase in digital money transaction thanks to the outbreak of the coronavirus in 2020. Many Nigerians adopted the online money business, and government imposed measures that limits the movement of goods and services. The West African state registered over $1 trillion in value of electronic payment, according to the interbank settlement system. And let's have more details of that in this report.
Olaiwola Fashuba is a home and furniture designer in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Payment transactions used to be a challenge for him, from sourcing cash for procurements to making bank trips. But now electronic payment is saving him a great deal.
I use e-payments mainly for all my transactions. I use e-payments for comfort. I could be at home and I pay somebody in a different state, so I don't need to walk all the way to meet the person or walk to the bank.
E-payment platforms in Nigeria have continued to flourish. Martin Olajide runs an e-payment gateway known as QuidPay. Many turn to online payment platforms like his at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. QuidPay's daily transactions have grown from 12,000 to as much as 50,000. That with an international spread.
We grew 700% during COVID. And if you know the problems to adoption of technology around here, it was always a problem of trust. And because people had choices, I could go somewhere to buy something and present cash. But during COVID, that opportunity was not there. A lot of us were forced to even get our groceries online, and because of that, there was that adoption. And then people's propensity to consume online services increased.
According to statistics from the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, NIBSS, the value of electronic payment in Nigeria rose from $403.65 billion in 2019 to more than $1.73 trillion in 2020. That's about 325% growth.
It's definitely growing because of the increasing needs of people around pace, around ease of doing business, and because of the increased the increasing adoption of technologies in the way we do things. But beyond that, it's also add that it's equally very important for security checks, for security controls, around it, to be improved, because we see how criminals pervert that process most of the time.
The Central Bank of Nigeria adopted the cashless policy in January of 2012, but it's been plagued with challenges of quality service delivery and cybersecurity gaps that need to be closed. Experts are optimistic that the electronic payment landscape in Nigeria will grow further as Nigerians continue to embrace e-payment as a worthwhile alternative.
Money digital transactions there hitting high in Nigeria thanks to the COVID-19 global pandemic. Well, there's more news coming ahead, but for now we'll take a break and come back shortly with the rest of the story. Stay with us, we'll be back.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put into constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
Welcome back. This is iAfrica TV, and once again, many thanks for joining us. Now, the Gambia Press Union has on Monday held a press conference at the Union Secretariat to mark the World Press Freedom Day 2021, as the theme adopted by UNESCO for this year's event is information as a public good. GPU, however, chose a local theme dubbed Safety of Journalists is imperative for credibility of elections. World Press Freedom Day is observed to raise awareness of the importance of freedom of the press and remind governments of their duty to respect and uphold the right of freedom of expression. Amin Dow tells us more of that in this report.
Every 3rd May is celebrated as World Press Freedom Day, a day set aside to evaluate press freedom around the world. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Windhole Declaration, which was developed by African journalists pressing for a free and independent African press. The day is celebrated worldwide to defend the media from attacks on their independence and to pay tribute to journalists who lost their lives in the exercise of their profession. The Gambia Press Union, the umbrella body for all journalists in the country, joins the world in commemorating the day. The president of the union, Sirif Bojang Jr., outlined the expansion of the media freedom and freedom of expression since the downfall of dictatorship.
This year's World Press Freedom Day commemoration coincided with the release of the World Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders, or Reporters Sans Frontières. The Gambia, as some of you might know, is ranked 85th out of 180 countries, indicating a modest progress of 2 points from the 87th position last year. Indeed, the space for media freedom and freedom of expression has expanded since the downfall of dictatorship and since the ascendancy to power of President Adama Barrow. Also, some things to celebrate and to be proud of. There are more media houses in the country now than ever before, and this means more people have access to the media to express their views and opinions. This diversity and plurality of opinions in the media counts in favor of the country.
With the count in favor of the country by diversity and plurality of opinions in the media, Mr. Bojang, however, added that the media landscape in the country is still at a problematic juncture.
However, beneath the ranking lies facts that reveal that the media situation in the country is only better than the dark days of the dictatorship. So in a nutshell, we are not out of the woods yet. With a score of 30.76 points in the RSF measurement or ranking, the media landscape in the Gambia is still problematic. So improvement in the ranking does not necessarily mean that we are out of the woods and the media environment in the country is ideal. One of the reasons the Gambia is still stuck in this situation is because of the unfriendly environment and particularly legislations against the media. These are obnoxious and media repressive laws. Also, the GPU is working with partners to roll out safety training programs for journalists and dialogues with politicians and security personnel. Series of trainings have been outlined ahead of the election.
Chadna Jallo, a veteran journalist, highlighted the importance of being informed as a journalist before informing people.
I'm also glad that as journalists, we are perpetual students. We are perpetual students. We are always interested in what's going on around us. From the cradle to the grave, they say, man learns. So we are a learning institution. But the journalist is one step ahead. Ours is to empower the people by informing and educating the people. And to inform and educate the people, we ourselves must be well informed and well educated.
According to the union, records have shown that more than 15 incidents of physical assaults on journalists and media professionals occurred in which all attacks were perpetrated either by the police or politicians, including supporters of the president. The GPU's local theme, safety of journalists is imperative for credibility of elections, is premised on an analysis of the current realities and trends, which indicates that hostilities faced by journalists will likely worsen during the 2021 presidential elections. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Amendao.
Now, reporting there as the Gambia Press Union calls for more safety of journalists in the Gambia ahead of the December presidential elections, as, of course, the GPU celebrate or remembered, as let's celebrate the World Press Freedom Day in the Gambia 2021. Finally, the Ethiopian government is seeking for more powers from the country's legislative body to pursue against rival forces to central government in the country. The move came after the country's Council of Ministers issued a statement indicating that the TPLF and other rival groups have been categorized as terrorist organizations. Some experts believe the decision will boost the Prime Minister's quest to restore peace in the East African country. And here's more details of that in this report.
A statement released after the Ethiopian Council of Ministers decided to categorize both the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, and Shani as terrorist organizations reads, and I quote, "This decision will become applicable to organizations and individuals who collaborate, have links with, or relate to the ideas and actions of the designated terrorist organizations and others who have engaged in similar activities," end of quote. And once approved by the Parliament, this will give the government additional powers and legal ground to hunt down these groups and bring them to justice. The government claims attacks on civilians seen in the country over the last 3 years were either sponsored or plotted by TPLF and Shani. Shani likes to call itself the Oromo Liberation Army. In 2020, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed ordered a crackdown against the TPLF after the group attacked the Ethiopian army. Some experts said the latest decision has the potential of assisting the Prime Minister to win the war against groups that are said to disrupt peace and stability of the nation. On the other hand, some also warn Addis Ababa should take extra precautionary measures while implementing the law to avoid any human rights violations in the process.
And from the report there from Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, we finally bring this news edition to an end. But for more details on this and other stories, as always, you can visit on our website on africa.tv. But for now, though, many thanks for the pleasure of your company. Thanks for watching, and do have a very pleasant afternoon. Bye for now.